Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome once again to the Enhanced Sports Talk Show. My name is Lou Tenor, and we here till 6 o'clock before Mazal McGee takes over his fine show. And then Kevin Dixon on Monday nights from 7 to 9. We're coming to you today from the Golden Nugget in Lancaster City, New Jersey. But don't worry, everything is fine here. Sorry, I'm not on camera for some reason. There seems to be a problem here, but I'll take care of it somehow. All right. Don't forget to go to YouTube and type in theenhancedsportshow.com. And don't forget to like and share this page as well. All right, so we got a lot to talk about in the hockey world because the trade deadline just passed yesterday at 3 o'clock. And there are some big movers and big shakers and some big upsets too. Oh boy, is there ever. All right, so I'll bring in my crew here. Steve, are you there? Yeah. Yeah, sorry, not feeling so well, but thanks for coming in. Mike, James, James, we're on. All right. Okay, good. Alex and Diane. Okay. All right. So, like I said, the trade deadline passed for hockey yesterday, and there were some big moves, especially with the Boston Bruins. The Panthers also made a move by acquiring Vitek Vanek from the San Jose Sharks for Patrick Giles. The trade comes one day after the Sharks traded held him out of the lineup for reasons related to the trade, of course. By acquiring Vanek, the Panthers are providing depth and a second behind two-time Vezina Trophy winner Sergei Bobrovsky. You remember the performance he had in last year's Stanley Cup, especially in the finals, right? He did an amazing performance. The Panthers traded backup Spencer Knight and a first-round pick in the 2026 draft to the Blackhawks, which are doing well, awful again, in exchange for defenseman Seth Jones and a fourth-round selection in 2026. Vanek, but this year Vanek has not had a good record. He's only 3-10-3. Oof, that's not good. And a 3.88 goals against average and 8.82 save percentage this season in only 18 games with 17 starts. And he's a pending free agent when the season ends. Overall, Vanek is 94, 52, and 20 with a goals against average of 2.82 in 181 games, 169 starts with the Sharks, Devils, and guess what, Steve? The Capitals. Giles has 5 goals and 2 assists in 39 games for Charlotte of the AHL, but doesn't have any points in the last 9 games for the Panthers. Panthers are not doing so well, and why? And of course the Blackhawks are just the same team they've been for the last 6 years. But Tampa kind of worries me. But in fact, we're gonna go to the standings right now and just see where we are with this, because as it is now, we are about a month away from the end of the regular season, and everything is hindering on the trades now, of course. So let's just see here. Well, Florida Panthers, yeah, they're in first place, so they're gonna try to make another run. Lightning, they're a close third. It's in the Atlantic. Panthers, Leafs, and Lightning look to be the top three in the Atlantic Division. So they're looking to be in good shape right now. Though I can't say the same for Boston. Oof. I mean, they traded their top player, Brad Marchand, and that was their key weapon. He took them to a Stanley Cup in 2011, and right now they are on the. I don't think they're going to make it. They only got 64 points, and the only team that's worse than that was the Buffalo Sabres, who've been a doormat for quite a long time now. So I think the Panthers made a good move here. Any thoughts? Yeah. No. Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. The Wizards, of course. That's the Wizards have been in trouble all season. Yeah. Hmm. Anyone else have any thoughts? How about you? How about you, Mike? Steve? Well, yeah, but there's. I mean, they're outside looking in, so they had to make every move possible. I do like them, but I think they might come up a little bit short. They're trying to fight for the wild card spot right now, but Thursday's loss, I think, put them a step back. Yeah. Steve, I mean, Ovechkin is hot. I mean, he had more goals added this week. He's now 9 away from tying Gretzky. I mean, not 9 down. So he's in the running. I think he's gonna make it before the month is over. He's in serious reach right now. Yeah, well, I wasn't too thrilled on who scored the winning goal in that game. Ugh, Wilson, because you know how much everybody can be. Yeah, but Wilson's the kind of player that he's like the villain. He's like a villain, if you ask me. Well, he's a dirty player. And right now, no score. And speaking of the Rangers, they lost to the Senators 4-3 this afternoon. And no score between the Bruins and the Lightning right now. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. But anyway, I had something else on. Okay. Panthers are also making some moves. Um, the Devils though acquired defenseman Brian Dumlin in a trade with the Anaheim Ducks on Thursday, receiving a conditional second round 2025 pick and prospect Herman Traff in exchange. The Devils could use some depth in their backhand as defenseman Dougie Hamilton is week to week with a lower body injury. Not good, not good. He has 14 assists and 2 goals in a season, 61 games. First with the Ducks, his first season with the Ducks, and as a pending free agent this offseason. Mike and Diane, I mean, they were doing so well at the beginning of the season, and then all of a sudden, like in the past 6 weeks, they've been really falling off. I mean, what's going on? Yeah, I know about Jack. That's a big loss right there. I mean, he's hurting. I think it's a big loss for the Devils right there. I mean, they've fallen out of the sticks in the conference, and you know they're falling apart here. So here's what happened with that one. Jack Hughes is on. Jack Hughes has been placed on long-term injured reserve. So Hughes suffered a shoulder injury on last Sunday against the Golden Knights after colliding with Jack Eschel and slammed into the boards. Oof. Then he left the ice as he clutched his arm and head off to the locker room and did not return for the game. So this is a serious blow to the Devils right here. He underwent surgery on the shoulder um, back on Wednesday. Wednesday, with the procedure performed by Dr. Peter Mollett at the Stedman Clinic in Vail, Colorado. He's done for the season, but he should be able to come back for training camp. But as far as this season, it's over. In 62 games a season, Jack has 27 goals and 43 assists. It was his fourth straight season with 26 goals at least, and his third straight with at least 70 points. The Devils are third in the division of the Metro and sixth, but this injury to Hughes could be a serious blow for the playoff chances. Guys, what do you think? Do you think the Devils can still make the playoffs without their best player? Yeah, let me just no. Uh-oh. Okay, so where we are right now. All right. Third in the division. I mean, Washington just blowing everybody away. They got 90 points, Steve. So you're comfortably in front. No question about that. Yeah, I mean, think about it. You might have the triple crown this year, Steve. You might have the triple crown. Winning the President's Trophy. Wait a minute. You didn't know what the triple crown is, man. Winning the regular season title, aka the President's Trophy. Two, Ovechkin breaks the record. Ovechkin breaks the record. Three, they win a Stanley Cup. Yeah. Okay, so let's just look at the conference here. Okay, you're safe, regardless of what happens this season. You're safe. Florida is second. Leafs are third. Right now, the Devils sit in the sixth spot in the Eastern Conference, considering they were number one early in the season. Not good. Ottawa is seventh, thanks to that win today against the Rangers. Yuck. Blue Jackets are eighth. And actually, uh, the Blue Jackets and Rangers are tied for the eighth spot at 68 points each. So, and right below them is the Montreal Canadiens at 66, along with the Red Wings. So it's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough race down the stretch here between the last uh, four teams to get in. So among Ottawa, Blue Jackets, Rangers, Canadiens, and I'll take even the Red Wings. Who is in the most serious jeopardy right now? Alex, let me start that with you. Who in are those teams I just mentioned? Who is looking the most vulnerable right now? Okay, starting down with the Senators, the Blue Jackets, Rangers, Canadiens, and Red Wings. The question is, who of those teams I just mentioned looks the most vulnerable? Yeah, yeah, I've seen it too. Yeah, yeah, right. Of course not. Yes, yes, yeah. So much for a former player. Yeah, yeah. How about you, Mike? How about you, Mike? Yeah, Diane. Diane, who's looking? Who's looking? Okay. James, I don't know you follow hockey too much, but if you had to make a guess, who would you take? If you had to make a guess on what team is in danger of not making the postseason, who would it be of the teams I just mentioned? Flyers, I think, are a dead duck. Flyers are near the bottom, so I think we can rule them out. No, no. Yeah, well, sometimes it just doesn't work, Alex. Yeah, and sometimes a trade, it could be a good trade or it could be a bad trade, and they, haven't made any good moves in recent years. So that's what happened. You know, sometimes trade one player away, a real good player, can really affect the team the rest of the way. Yeah, right. Which were you talking NBA or NHL? Okay. As much as I hate to say it, I think the crowd's right. The Rangers look the most vulnerable right now. They were so hot at the beginning of the year, and now they just slacked off. And I thought maybe the trade would help them a bit, but it hasn't. And even with our addition with Miller, I thought that was going to give us a spark, but it hasn't. Yeah, it is. All right. Anybody else have any thoughts? Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll buy that. Okay, and we'll tell you. I got some more hockey news. In fact, Steve, I have some interesting news about one of your boys. Ab- On actually on Ovechkin because he did a good deed recently. Yeah. So just let me get to the story here. This is like our good news segment. So hope I can find the article here. If I can't, then we'll just move on from there and take care of it another time. But I did hear he did something. Yeah. Oh, here we are. He's turning his quest for the NHL goal scoring record into a fundraiser for pediatric cancer research. Listen to this, guys. Ovechkin announced on Wednesday the founding of the Great Eight Chase for Victory Over Cancer, pledging to donate money for every goal he scores from now until the end of his career to the Jimmy V Foundation. That's the late Jim Urbano of NC State, for those of you who don't know. The money is the money is earmarked toward research for childhood cancer, with 100% of the proceeds going to the cause. I like that. Ovi is now 9 away from tying Wayne Gretzky's record and 10 away from breaking it, which I think he's going to do before the season's over. I probably will. He will donate an amount equal to his goal total for every goal he scores from now until the end of his career. We don't know how long it's going to be, so it could be anything. Okay, Monumental Sports Entertainment, who owns the Capitals, will match the donations. Ovechkin is inviting fans to donate $8 in honor of his, at least $8 in honor of his uniform number, or to give any amount of their choosing through the Jimmy B Foundation website at the ORG Great Eight Chase. Eight being Ovechkin's number. Like you didn't already know that, right? Right. Uh, the Jimmy B Foundation has awarded $91 million in childhood research grants. Wow. Ovechkin has a history of supporting causes pertaining to children throughout his career that began with the Capitals back 20 years ago. I can't believe it's been 20 years, actually. Wow. In 45 games last season, he had 31 goals. This season, last season, it took him 79 games to reach that same total, and he was out for 26 games this year. So he's really poured it on, since after his injury, which I thought was going to slow him down. Well, what do I know? All right. So the Capitals now lead the Eastern Conference with 90 points with 19 games remaining, and the Capitals beat the Rangers on Thursday night in overtime by a goal by Tom Wilson. I can't stand him. I'm sorry, Steve, but I can't stand him. Nevertheless, though, I think it's a good deed on Ovechkin's part. You know, matching his goal scoring to match with the donations for the pediatric cancer. Now that's what I call a real nice guy, to be honest. A great cause. That's a great cause. In helping kids out. Yeah. So when eventually he does break the record, he's going to match. That's going to be substantial. And I wish him best of luck. With 9 goals to go, let me see. Where are we now? March 8th. I'm going to say, I think right around my birthday, he's going to do it. Yeah. Hey, he broke the record 2 days before my birthday. So why not? A record has held for 31 years, and we're about to see history made again. So I've been on Obi Watch. Well, what about you, Steve? You been on Obi Watch at all? Steve? No, have you been on Ovechkin watch? Yeah. No, because I've been catching every game, since he's been in reach of the record. I'm watching the Capitals games on my streaming service, so I'm like, I'm gonna keep a close eye on this. Have you been keeping a close eye on the on his countdown to making history? I know. That was a stupid question. Yeah. Okay, forgive me for asking such a stupid question, but I had to make sure of that. What he will do. Yeah, right. And another note: the Blue Jackets forward Matthew Oliver is signed to a 6-year, $18 million extension on Wednesday. He was expected to be an unrestricted free agent after the season ended. Now he'll be with the Blue Jackets until the 2030-31 season. Boy, I'll be an old man by then. Eek. In 61 games this season, now I think 62, Matthew has 12 goals and 9 assists, but also has 113 penalty minutes. Oof, got cut down on that. Oliver has been a contributor both on and off the ice, thanks to his work ethic, dedication, leadership, and other intangibles that are critical to the team's success, said by Blue Jackets president Don Waddle. Ensuring that Matthew remains a Blue Jacket, which he probably will, was a priority for us, and we were thrilled that Matthew will be a part of the Blue Jackets team for years to come. Undrafted to begin his career, he has 25 goals and 30 assists in 229 career games with the Blue Jackets and Yahoos. You call them the Predators. Matthew has also racked up 352 penalty minutes. That's way too much. Rack up all that penalty time. That he's got to cut out. I mean, you can't make such an impact if you're going to be on the bench and serving your punishment. So he's got to watch it. But the Blue Jackets, like I think I need more than Matthew to you know get to where they want to be because even with that kind of, they're not necessarily being a better team. I mean, they're on the bottom of the barrel in the Eastern Conference, so they need a lot of work to do if they're going to be in any contention to make a playoff spot. I think it was last year they lost 20 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. Like last season, the season before that, they set a record with I think it was 23 losses in a row, and that was not a great lookout for the Blue Jackets whatsoever. I mean, they're like last year's version of the Detroit Pistons. Oh, sorry. You get the idea. Yeah, yeah, right. Yes. All right, so I'm going to turn on to college basketball for a little while because we're coming down to the end of the regular season here. The conference tournaments, well, some of the minor league conferences I think began today, but for the the Big Sky and a few of them, but the Big East began on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. The Big 12 begin next week as well as the ACC and whatever you want to call the Pac-12 now, which I don't even know what they are. The Pac-10 now also begin on I think Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna look now at the Big East Conference. I'm also gonna look at the Big Ten Conference because some of our local teams are involved in that. So in the Big East, St. John's, yeah, they're gonna get the number one seed, no question about that. I mean, this is the best seed in 40 years, man. You can't go wrong with that. So they're going to be in as number one seed, a lock, and that also means they get a first round bye as well. Uh, Creighton, ugh, unfortunately, they're second. UConn, despite the team that they have not been the past couple of years, they are a third seed. Well, in the conference was is, and Marquette is fourth. What we're really looking here, I think, is well next to the bottom. I can't say the bottom four because one of them is not going to be in the tournament anyway. Seton Hall, they had a terrible season. Last year they were the uh, horrible. Last year the NIT champions. This year they couldn't get off the ground. They are now 2-17 in the conference, which is horrible. And overall, they are a miserable, pathetic 7-23. That is a shame from the season they had last year to this. So looking at the bottom three, well, next to the bottom three, Butler, Providence, and DePaul. Georgetown is okay. They're safe. They're at 17th. Well, but their conference record, though, Steve, their conference record isn't that great. I mean, overall, before the conference season starts, yeah, yeah, in the conference, not that great. Overall, though, they're better. So this has been their best season in quite a while as well. So yeah, well, I believe you. I believe they're playing now, Alex, because they're playing Seton Hall. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that as talented, but they've fallen apart. Uh, no contest again, folks. For those of you who want to know the final score, UConn over at Seton Hall, 81-50. Yes. Wow. This team was totally trash. Yeah. But this team was trash this year. Ugh. So, I mean, Seton Hall, just trash. All right. So let's look at the next to the bottom standings with between Butler, Providence, and DePaul. They all have a 8-13 record. I think the bottom four and Georgetown 8-11. So it looks like it's all but written in. I think Butler, Providence, and DePaul are gonna fall short. Well, DePaul is 3-16 in the conference, so they're out too. So between Georgetown, Butler, and Providence, does Georgetown have to make it um, into the next round of the tournament? Okay. Well, yeah, because right, yeah, but DePaul was never that good. They never been a strong team, Steve. Yeah. All right. So I have the schedule here for the games itself. Okay. So the first round will begin on Wednesday. Number 8 versus number 9. We don't know the teams are yet. We'll know I think tomorrow. Game 2 will be the 7 versus the 10 seed. The game 3 will be number 6 versus number 11. Then the quarterfinals will be on Thursday. Game 1 winner takes on number 1 seed. The number 5 takes on number 4. That can go either way, of course. Number 5, number 4. Game 6, the game 2 winner against number 2 seed. That's on Thursday. And number 3 seed, game winner 3 against number 3 seed. That's game 7. The semifinals will be on Saturday, 6:30. As the game 3 takes on the game 5 winner, and the game 9, game 6 winner takes on the game 7 winner, and the Big East Conference Championship will be next Saturday, 6:30 p.m. And I'll get access to all those games because I got all the streaming devices ready. Because some will be on Peacock for the first time this year, and then Fox will take over. So, but not for nothing. But I think the Big East has been, well, it has been good. I mean, St. John's, at least the best season in 40 years and whatnot. But some of the Big East teams have been kind of weak this year, weaker than others, and that doesn't say much good for the league. I mean, I remember once when the Seton Hall, the Big East was like the top conference in all of college basketball, and now they've sunk it down to like a grade B or a grade C level. And of course, in football, the Big East is gone. So, what does that tell you right there? It's not what it used to be. It's definitely not what it used to be. But you're an ACC guy, right, Steve? So yeah, went to the Big Ten. Okay, okay, all right. I got yeah, yeah. Hey, let me ask you, Steve. What do you got? Well, I normally don't put this in, but it's a big rivalry week. I think who do you got time between North Carolina and NC State? Yes, yeah. I meant this tonight's game, Steve. I meant tonight's game. Not oh yeah, yeah. That's a classic rivalry right there. I think I'd go with Duke too. Yeah, Carolina is decent, you know, but I don't think they can be any match for Duke this time around. But North Carolina, I think, is going to hold its own. Yeah, yeah. Anyone else going to go with Duke? Oh, Steve, let me ask. Do you think Cooper Flag is going to stay? Yeah, I heard rumors that that he's staying next year, which would be a good move because I'm thinking he rushes now to get into the pro level. I think he's going to be lost. So I think it's wise for him to stay in school, and then maybe like in his junior year, then they should think of maybe entering the draft. Right now, no, because he could have a lousy. He could be crushed when he plays against the big boys. You can't expect someone who's just coming out of freshman year and thinking, "Oh, I'm going to be the next great star in basketball." When in reality, yeah, you might get crushed. Your career will be over before it started. Yes. Mhm. Hello, Roger. Yeah, we were just discussing college basketball. I know you don't follow it that much, but we got the conference tournaments now coming up, and Seton Hall, forget it, done. But we're just thinking about Duke right now in North Carolina. I'm gonna say Duke for tonight's game as they look to wrap up the regular season conference title. Okay. So on to more basketball. Oh, we have a milestone in the NBA. Get this, guys. LeBron James officially becomes the first player in history to reach 50,000 points. Now, I know you're thinking, wait a minute, how did he reach that? Well, they when you combine regular season and playoffs, that's the magic number of 50,000. Even though he hasn't reached that mark in the regular season, but still is the all-time leading scorer. So on Tuesday, the Pelicans, Luka Doncic passed and opened LeBron, who hit 3-pointer to surpass 50,000, sending the home crowd into a frenzy. LeBron entered Tuesday's game just 1 point shy of making that, so you know he's going to hit it anyway. I mean, no question about that. And back on February 7th, 2023, he passed the regular season record of 38,387 held by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which also I thought was unbreakable. Little did we know that LeBron was going to beat it. Who knew? LeBron has now well surpassed that mark and holds both records now by a considerable large margin. After LeBron, Kareem is second all time in scoring with 44,149 combined regular season and postseason points. The closest active player to LeBron is Kevin Durant, but he's only at 35,901, so he needs 14,000 and change to make it. No, I think it's safe to say that LeBron's record is going to withstand for quite a while because I don't even think that KD's going to hit 40,000. As good as he's been, but he's not going to make it. Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Who is it? Right. No. Yeah, yeah, that's the no, not at all. I don't think so. Steve. No, he won't. He won't break. For 2 weeks, yes. I'll get to that in a minute. They're banged up right now. No, they're not. Yeah. 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 So Rosen is out with the right. Yeah, Rosen is out with the right ankle sprain they suffered in Thursday's loss to the Lakers. So that's the problem there. So should be reevaluated. Yeah. So anyway, he's, he's out 2 weeks. Out 2 weeks for ankle sprain. So that's where he's gonna be. So that's a serious blow to our Knicks team, even though they have a winning record. Despite the fact they're third seed in the conference, they're not playing like a third seeded team. They're playing more like a six or seven seeded team, and they can't beat the top three. Can you imagine? Because they can't beat Boston for sure. They can't beat Cleveland or the West. The West is far more superior than the East anyway. So they really just stepped up their game now in the last few weeks of the season right here. Yeah, right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. 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 Okay. All right, Diane, your trivia. All right. That's fine. So, right. That was all you had. All right, I'll have more. I'll have more. Okay. I'll take care of the rest. Hobby. Okay. Well, a question's come up now. Here's the question, guys. Who would you rather see in NBA Finals? Now, here's your list: the Celtics versus the Thunder, the Cavs versus the Lakers, the Celtics versus the Lakers, the Cavs versus the Thunder, or someone else against someone else. All right, Steve. Who would you like to see in NBA Final? Cavs and Lakers. All right. Alex. Okay, but okay, but all right, yeah. Cavs and Thunder. Okay. James, James, who would you like to see in an NBA final? All right, but Thunder against who? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'll say the Cavs and the Thunder. That looks to be legit the way they've been playing so far. Oh, it is, of course. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't rule out the Celtics just yet, although I wish I would like to, but but I still think it's gonna be, the Cavs versus the Thunder. But, and don't rule out the Lakers just yet. I mean, if you yeah. Mhm. Yeah, neither do I. But they're a strong contender. Yeah, we'll see. All right, so on to football now. The Commanders released two-time defensive tackle Jordan Jonathan Allen after an unsuccessful attempt to be traded. He was earning the final year was 4 years, $72 million deal, and there was still guaranteed money left on the deal. The move will now save the Commanders 16.3 million toward the cap. Allen was limited to 8 games due to a pectoral injury this season. He totaled 401 tackles with 42 sacks, with 118 quarterback hits in 109 games, with 108 starts, and was selected 17th overall by Washington in 2017. So, Steve, this looks like a little bit downward for you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Yes. What are you, the $6 million man? Yeah. Right. It is. All right. I really thought, Steve, you thought it was going to be a downward for you because you did lose one of your best players. So, but obviously you see differently about that. Yeah, yeah. Go figure that out. Well, definitely cheap. Yeah. All right. So moving on. All right. The Lions released linebacker signed Derek Barnes to a 3-year, $23.5 million deal, contract extension. That also includes $16 million guaranteed. Not bad. In offseason transition with the Lions, as both coordinators moved to head coaching jobs, the Lions have turned their focus into keeping their personnel intact. Barnes missed much of last season with both an MCL and ACL tears, a double whammy. He suffered in week 3 against a win over the Cardinals. However, the Lions view Barr as a key piece to their defense after starting 13 games in the 2023 season with 81 tackles, a sack, and a forced fumble. So good news on that. And although the Lions did stumble, in the playoffs this year unexpectedly, I think they're going to be able to rebound here and make another run. I mean, the last few years, the Lions have been pretty solid. One time the team was kind of like, well, a joke. Up, and the Giants have just re-signed quarterback Tommy DeVito. I'm just looking over this right now. So, all you Giants fans out there, I think that's gonna be good news for you. No, of course not. He's a fan favorite, though. Right, right. I mean, yeah. I mean, he didn't do anything, for the Giants. Of course, this season was uh, the worst season in franchise history. But you still had him. I mean, the fans like him though. They really do. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you can pinpoint just one person though. Absolutely. Yeah. And just came across a little side note. Jimmy Johnson stepping down from coach from the NFL Sunday broadcast for 31 years. I don't think it was that bad of a broadcaster or a commentator. I thought he was better as a coach coaching Dallas. So yeah, yes. Okay. Uh, Steve Benish for your Orioles. Oh, the Orioles are hoping that Gunnar Henderson could be back for opening day. Manager Brandon Hyde told reporters on Wednesday that Henderson suffered a mild strain on his right side. Ooh, that's not good. Um, but he said, but Hyde said, "I'm very hopeful, but we are not going to push the strain, uh, and we don't want to, and we want to be sure that it's well taken care of. It's one of those sensitive areas, and we don't want anything to reappear." Henderson departed in last Thursday's win over the Blue Jays in the first inning with low right side discomfort. Here's how it happened, though. He made a leaping catch in the top of the first inning and felt soreness as he fell to the ground. Happens a lot. Harrison was only batting 167 in spring training so far. Not exactly earth-shattering numbers. He was Rookie of the Year in 2023 and made his first All-Star team last season. He had 37 home runs, 92 RBIs, and 21 stolen bases, finishing fourth in American League MVP voting. Harrison also dealt with a left oblique in spring training last season, but recovered in time for this season. So, Steve, is there any chance that Harrison will start opening day? So you don't think the injury is that serious? Hmm. Yeah, I get because they still ruled him out yet for me day, so you're probably right. But to have that happen though, still, yeah. Oh, poor goodness. Yeah, of course not. We still gonna wait 3 weeks, so you're gonna have to wait. Yeah. Well, you'll still have to wait 3 weeks. Well, well, for the American opener, yeah, yeah, right, yes, yeah. And more good news for your Commander, Steve. They re-signed kicker Zane Gonzalez to a 1-year deal. Yep. Yes. Well, you've lost the championship, but yeah, I get it. Not a bad year though. He had five. Yeah, he made 5 of 7 goal field goal attempts and made 19 extra point tries in 6 regular season games. Not bad. He drilled 7 of 8 field goal attempts in the playoffs, including a 37-yard field goal that backed off the upright as time expired, or as I like to call it, the doink, because I saw when like it went through. Yes, it did, and I gave the Commanders a 23-20 win over the Bucks. It was in the wild card round, which ended really wild. That's for sure. Yeah, so he wound up the hero in that game, and I guess that, yeah, I guess it would make sense to bring him back. Yeah, yeah. They need more than Zach Martin, though. I mean, this team was not what they were, from like 2 years ago. They are really for the wayside now. Yes, yeah, no, yeah. Not moving forward is right. They need to do more than that. But the Eagles are bringing back one of their top guys, linebacker Zach Braun, on a 3-year deal worth 51 million. Yeah, 36 million guarantee. So, great. So, thanks. Yep. Yeah, yeah, right. And with yeah, and with a lineup like that, yeah. Well, with him in the mix, I think he's gonna be maybe another chance to at least make the AFC conference championship. I don't know about a Super Bowl, but with him back there, they're gonna have a good season, unfortunately. Yes. Yeah. That's what they needed. Yeah, they so are. Yes, you do. Yes. Okay. So we'll move on from here. Yes. Well, the new league year starts on Wednesday. Oh, they will. Yes. Yep. And Joey Bosa is done with the Chargers. They released him on Wednesday after a 9-year run. I mean, he was the star of that team, and now what the Chargers do? I mean, can they find anybody that's going to be good to get to replace him? I don't know. Yes, you do. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you have to. Yeah. Oh, wow. One more hockey note before I go on. The Knights acquire forward Riley Smith from the Rangers just when they're trying to vie for a playoff spot. Well, now they're going to need more help. They trade for forward Brendan Brisson, a third round pick. Smith played 6 seasons for the Knights from 2017 to 2023 and won the Stanley Cup championship that year with them. In 58 games for the Rangers, he had 19 goals and 10 assists. That's a big blow to us right now. So, yeah, I get it. Yeah, you mean one of the one of our idiots of the week? Yeah. Okay. Well, I got another weird one here for you. You know, there's a lot of ways to get injured in baseball, but have you ever heard this one about getting injured while stepping on a sprinkler? No, probably not. Okay. Well, it happened to the Cardinals right fielder Jordan Walker. He sustained a minor knee injury as he stepped on a sprinkler head in a way, one way to get injured. He was tracking down a fly ball against the Nationals on Tuesday when he was injured. He later underwent an MRI and showed irritation in his left knee. Good news is there was no structure damage. Yeah, so they said they'll calm it down for a week and then we'll ramp it up and we'll see you in spring training. Walker was removed from the game. Oliver Marlon said it was relieved it was not a serious injury. Cardinals won 6-4. He's perfectly fine and the way expected to be, said Marmol. He wants to be there every day, but knowing there is some type of inflammation, he needs to allow it to settle down and get back into it. Obviously, this was a positive sign. Last season, Walker batted 255 in parts of the last two seasons with the Cardinals with 21 home runs, 71 RBIs, and 168 games. Stepping on a sprinkler. What a way to get injured. Wow. Well, that was stupid. Yeah. Yeah. Just came up with another thing here. The Seattle Kraken and the Tampa Bay Lightning training players. Tampa Bay gets a 2026 first round pick, a 2027 first round pick to be named later, 2025 Toronto second round pick, Mikey Esmolot, and the Lightning will receive Vanny Gordy and Oliver Berksham, and a 2026 fifth round pick from Seattle. That just came over the wire today. Good trade or no? All right, no comment. And the Raiders are going to release Gardner Minshew when the new league year begins. Minshew made 9 starts for the Raiders, completing 63.3% of its passes for 2,103 yards with 9 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. In 6 seasons in the league, he made 46 starts with the Colts, Jaguars, and Raiders. Can you also hear me though? Okay. Crowd went silent. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He's provided veteran presence on the open market who can start as needed and providing leadership to a young quarterback. Okay. Yeah. And Crosby will retire as a Packer. Yeah, Mason Crosby. Mason Crosby. Sorry. Yeah. And the Seahawks and wide receivers. Yes, I am. Yeah. That he is not playing, but he's going to retire as a Packer. Sign one of those 1 day contracts. So that's what he's going to retire as. Yeah, a 1 day contract. All right, but hang on a second. And the Seahawks and wide receiver Tyler Lockett are splitting up. He'll become a free agent when the new league year begins on Wednesday. He says he enjoys his time in Seattle, has some great memories, but he knows his time has ended. Lockett spent all 10 seasons of his career with the Seahawks, catching 661 passes for 8,594 yards and 61 touchdowns. Despite his long-term success, last season was a low point in his career as he only caught 49 passes for 600 yards and 2 touchdowns, his worst season since 2017. So I think that was a sign and saying that he was going to, that you were going to split up after the season he had last year. He just thought, that's about it. So I guess I understand that. Well, yeah, yeah, especially as you get up there in age, of course. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. And there's been a lot of injury. a lot of it is in baseball already in spring training. If not for nothing, but I think spring training can go a little bit long. I mean, you start like the middle of February, and then you end it just to like about the last week of March and whatnot. I know the condition, but to go starting from mid February up to like late March or even early April, I think that that's just too long for spring training. I think they need to cut it back a bit. Yes, yeah, because the season starts way too. The preseason I think is starting way too early now, and that's not helping much at all. So I think yeah, right. But remember, the football season extended itself. With extra playoffs and an extra week in the season. So that it does seem like that. Plus, with yeah, but also yeah, right, yeah, and vice versa. Yeah. So what's gonna happen now that ESPN is out? What's gonna happen now that ESPN is not gonna do baseball after this year? Which didn't surprise me though. Well, consider well, it doesn't surprise me because they have cut back on their baseball coverage in recent years. It used to be Monday, well, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, I think sometimes on either Thursday or Friday, and now they just cut it to Sundays, and now that's gone. So the almighty leader in all sports is now, going the other direction, and they still don't know who's going to maybe take over next year. I mean, some are saying NBC, some are saying CBS or Netflix or whatever. So this is going to be kind of interesting. This is ESPN's final year. They won't announce, I think, I think in the summer or maybe after the season's over. This is the final year. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We do. Yeah. Well, actually, Alex, there is somebody that has the Frank games. Um, I forget. I, yeah, no, uh, yeah. Somebody has it. Somebody else has it already. So yeah, on the streaming services. So they have their Friday night games, and Roku does Sunday afternoon. But Roku has a Sunday afternoon package as well. I've seen it. Yeah. 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 Okay. So Grizzlies more injuries to mention here. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So okay. So we got more injuries to mention here. A lot of injuries here. Okay. Atlanta, Atlanta Braves starting catcher Sean Murphy was the start of the season with a rib injury. Oh boy. Even the injuries are piling up now in spring training. That's another thing there. There's too many injuries in spring training, more than I think in recent years. So he'll miss 4 to 6 weeks with a rib injury. Top prospect Drake Baldwin could be a replacement. Murphy behind the plate. Opening day is March 27th. So a little bit less, a little bit now, about 3 weeks away. Murphy batted with 10 home runs and 225 RBIs in 72 games for the Braves last season. Murphy made his NL start All-Star team in 2023 and won a Gold Glove back in 2021 with the Oakland A's when they were a halfway decent team back then. Now, yeah, pretty good. It's pretty good. You really think he's going to make a wild card? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. What if they still got? Considering last year they had no fans anyway, and this when they had their last game, uh, yeah, then the crowd started showing up. Where were you all season? All right. Yeah. They probably won't. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. Okay. No, because they haven't played like a championship team. I mean, they've been falling by the wayside, of course. So It's hard to say. Yeah. Yes. Right. All right. And of course, Mr. Injury for himself, Carlos Stanton. Yep, he is on the injury list again. Every year he seems to get injured. I don't even know how he stays in the game. So he's silent for the spring. Stanton received an injection in both elbows, according to the New York Post. The 2017 MVP has been away from the team as dealing with a personal matter, but he is expected to rejoin the team Tampa any day now. Stanton last year at 233 with 27 home runs and 72 RBIs in 114 games in the regular season. In the postseason, he did well as well, keeping up in the ALCS. He had 7 home runs with 16 RBIs in 14 playoff games and was named MVP of the ALCS as they beat the Guardians. DJ LeMahieu injured his calf muscle in last Saturday's game against the Astros. And speaking of the game, Manager Moon said he felt a bit concerned about his injury, but it doesn't seem to be too serious. But I don't like how the Yankees are starting off with the injury list even before the regular season begins. So they're looking a little shaky right now. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no time is a good time to get injured, in baseball, but at least it's happening now before the season begins. But if these injuries keep piling up, this is gonna, worry me a little bit. Speaking as a Yankee fan. No. Yes, there are. So I'm hoping that that he gets back as soon as he can because we're gonna need him. I don't know how these are piling up. I mean, Stanton, I didn't think you count very much. You know, I mean, he's just like he's playing with the Marlins. He had offense, but he was kept getting too injured, and I wasn't too crazy about getting an injury prone player. Yeah, yeah. Well, they'll need more than that. They'll need more than Judge. Yeah. Oh, and Kyrie Irving is tore his ACL in Monday's game against the Kings, and looks to be in trouble here. Irving's season is over, and realistically, the Mavericks season, yeah, pretty much over too, as they now fall in the 10th in the Western Conference. They were so strong just a few weeks ago, but then the trade, yeah, that I think has turned their fortunes around the wrong way. Irving was one of the best known of his as having one of the best seasons since demanding a trade from the Cavaliers. A surprise to many around the league. His parting with Luka Doncic worked out right away. Even more surprising was Doncic was sent out of Dallas for Anthony Davis, who injured himself in his Mavericks debut. Oh boy. He had been sidelined with the same thigh injury that derailed his debut with the Mavericks. Not only are the Lakers improving, though, which is a complete turnaround from Christmas, they're making good in the Western Conference playoff chase. But the pairing of Doncic and Davis is also dead as the Mavericks keep falling up. And I'll be honest, I think the Mavericks are looking vulnerable, and I don't think they're even going to make the postseason the way it's going right now. So the Mavericks season is on the line here. Yeah, there's your answers right there. Why would you want to do that? That's really messed up. That is really messed up. No. Yeah. Speaking of trades, yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. Okay, so a little bit more news here. Another player is going to be retiring. Mike Mustaka will retire as a Royal after a 13 World Year career, and he won, of course, the World Series with the White Sox in 2015. But once upon a time, they were actually good. The Royals were actually. The Royals announced his retirement on Monday. The infielder will sign a one-day contract on May 31st. That day, he'll be honored for playing with the Tigers. Moose finished with a 247 batting average and 215 home runs and 683 RBIs in 1,247 games with the Royals, Reds, Brewers, and Angels. A journeyman, I guess we could say. Oops. His last game was on September 23rd, 2003, with the Angels and was a three-time All-Star. He was selected second overall in 2007 and broke into the majors 4 years later. He became a key factor for the Royals in their most memorable stretch in the 2015 run to the World Series, batting 284 with 22 home runs and 147 RBIs. In the 2015 postseason, he drove in 8 runs and gave them their first World Series title in 30 years. Moustakas hit a career 30 home runs in 2017. In the following season, as a career high 95 RBIs with the Royals and Brewers. Yeah, yeah. The Moose was good back then, but of course, everybody has to hang it up sometime. Yep, and we're not. Yeah, and we're not gonna. Someone's gonna beat us. Huh. Well, I mean, that would be a surprise to me if the A's do it. So I'll go with you. I don't know how true it's gonna be, but yes, they do. Yeah, yeah. I think I'll go with that. I don't know how true it's gonna be, but I can tell you were sending something on that, Alex. So I'll buy that. Yeah. Anyone else have any sleeper picks? Right. Mhm. Okay. Does anyone else have any sleeper teams? Well, Alex may have something, but we'll see. And Tigers center fielder Parker Meadows has been shut down from baseball activities as a result of a nerve issue in his upper right arm. However, Meadows has not been ruled out for the season. The season opener on March 27th against the Dodgers. We will have to wait and see, said manager AJ Hinch on last Saturday morning, um, as reported by the Detroit Free Press. That was a week ago. It could be either short or it could linger. Hopefully, it won't be. There's no timeline set for his return. Only time will tell. Meadows has been out since last Saturday in a spring training games. Last season, he had 82 games with 9 home runs and 20 RBIs, batting 244. So looks a little bit shaky right now, but from what we're hearing, it doesn't look to be that bad. He could be ready to go within by maybe not opening day, but within I think like about a week into the opening day season. So I'm not looking at this to be anything of major concern right now. Yeah, I was not get carried away here. Right? Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Of course. Wait a second. Uh, Tony is. I'm sure he's all set for the season, so he's ready. But you think the Dodgers are going to take another year? Sure. No. Yeah. Yeah. Now, as you guys know, that part of the responsibility of the show is bringing good news stories and ridiculous stories, but also the tragic moments, of course, which make up half the news anyway. Well, we got another tragedy to mention here. Pittsburgh freshman cornerback Mason Alexander perished in a car accident at Fishers, Indy. He was 18 years old. Oh boy. Alexander committed to play for the Panthers on June 26th out of his senior year in Hamilton High School in Southeastern and Fishers. I think it's Indianapolis. He was named the Indiana Football Coaches Association top 50 after last season. Mason of every room he was in. He brought joy to everyone around him. He could change your outlook with one interaction. Forward defensive back and high school teammate Peyton Daniels also wrote on social media. According to a police report from a local TV station, a BMW where Alexander was a passenger swerved into a collision and collided with a tree that caught fire. He was pronounced dead at the scene. That's just awful. I mean, he had his whole career ahead of him, and just one accident like that, and his life was taken away. For it could have been a promising career. You just gotta feel bad for that. You know, the future's looking bright. To think they're gonna do well in college, and now all of a sudden it's just gone, just like that. Yeah, That's a shame. All right, Cardinals lefty Zach Thompson has a lat strain and could be shut down for a month. Cardinals president of baseball operations John Musick told reporters that's a grade 1 strain. He said Thompson will be revealed at the end of the time frame. He finished 8-2 last season with 5 games with the Cardinals last season, but with a 9.53 ERA. Oof. A winning record, but a lousy ERA. Somehow doesn't make a lot of sense. Well. He pitched in one spring training game and walked one in a scoreless inning. Thompson is 6-10 with a 4.50 ERA and 52 appearances in his 3-year career. Yeah, not good. Those are not good numbers. Then again, the Cardinals aren't that great of a team anymore. What can I say? All right. Yeah, and you were mentioning, of course, Alex, that even though that you have a championship team, you still get rid of some players. Well, the Eagles got rid of one too. They got rid of cornerback Darius Slay. His Yeah, go figure. Yes. So his release will be Wednesday as a post first transaction, and we'll see the Eagles $4.3 million against the cap. Eagles have several players that hit free agency next week, including linebacker Zach Braun, defensive end John Stewart, and guard. Right. Yeah, yeah, and guard Macaulay Becton. Slay played the last 5 seasons for the Eagles. He played on 14 games and had 13 passes, defended a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and 49 tackles. He began his career with the Lions, who selected him in the second round in 2013. In 12 seasons, he has 28 receptions. And then you got to dump him anyway. Yeah, yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah. All right. So moving on, and brackets are being. Oh, this is something. All ACC women's basketball bracket tournament is already out. Well, don't forget the women's tournament's already starting because they start a week earlier than the men's. So it should be interesting. Just let me check a little bit more on college basketball for a minute here, since it is the end of the season. I just want to catch up on some interesting games that are taking shape right now, if nobody minds. Okay, so I'll just try to do the interesting ones here. Um, Now, Steve, you said you're going to go with Duke. I think most of us are going to go with Duke. I mean, North Carolina is no. Yeah. All right. How about Clemson? How about Clemson, Virginia Tech? Ooh, okay. I'm going to go Clemson. How about you, Steve? Alex. Sorry, Alex. All right. Uh, and Mike. Okay, Roger. All right. Uh, game in progress right now. Texas A&M against LSU. I'm gonna go Texas A&M. Anybody else in agreement? Okay, go Aggies. Uh, Arizona, Kansas. I kind of like Kansas though. Yeah, and Florida versus Florida, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is football, not basketball, so I'm gonna go Florida here. Yeah, yeah, just to be on tomorrow. Ohio State's football. Okay, ooh, now for bragging rights here tomorrow. Yeah, but interesting game tomorrow here, guys. Battle of Michigan. It's Michigan against Michigan State, both in the top 20. Uh, huh, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go Michigan here. I'm gonna go Michigan. Right here in Michigan. Okay. Yeah, I like Michigan in this though. And next week starts, of course, the tournaments, so I'll be in tune for that one for sure. All right. So now we go. Yeah, it's a shame. All right, this week in sports history, and then we'll wrap it up because make way for Rasal. Okay, I'll just do like the more recent notes. Actually, I got one here. 1930, baseball slugger Babe Ruth signed a 2-year deal for a then huge $160,000 contract with the New York Yankees. Nowadays, that's nothing. 1936, the first stock car race is held in Daytona Beach, Florida. All right. Baseball player coach Casey Stengel was elected to the Hall of Fame in a surprise ceremony in 1966. Oh, by the way, Tiger Woods will not be playing in the Players Championship next weekend. He'll not be one of the 144 players involved for some odd reason. So I think it's safe to say that his career is winding down pretty much. 1971, Joe Frazier ends Muhammad Ali's 31 fight winning streak at Madison Square Garden, retained the heavyweight boxing title unanimous decision in 15 rounds in what was called the fight of the century. I think I remember hearing about that. 1985, Georgia beat St. John's 92-80 in the last time that they went to the that far in the Big East. 1986, no, I'm sorry, because St. John's beat Syracuse 70-69. But still, this is like their best season in about 40 years. Big East tournament 1987. Georgetown beat Syracuse 69-59. Okay, I think I remember that. 1987 in the ACC men's basketball tournament. NC State beat North Carolina 68-67. That was a close one. SEC, Alabama beat LSU 69-62. Steve, I think you remember that, right? 1998, North Carolina beat number one Duke 83-68. Go figure. Yeah, I was still trying to figure out myself. Yeah. And in 2022, Aaron Rodgers agrees to remain with the Packers in what was a 4-year, $200 million deal that would make him the highest paid player in NFL history. Unfortunately, he did not last all 4 years there with this deal as he went to the Jets, and well, the rest is history on that one. Yeah, not great. All right, so next week we'll continue hopefully with more NHL trades as they become available. I'll take predictions on the college basketball conference tournaments because it'll be going all weekend, and some will be, of course, on while the show is in progress. So get ready for that. Yeah, kind of went down to MLB spring training as we come up on the first game of the season, which is March 18th and 19th, if I'm not mistaken, around that time. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right. So, does anybody have any final words before we go? We got 2 minutes. Hmm. How about you, Alex? Any final thoughts? Oh yeah, lady of the week. Yeah, yes, the lady of the week. Yeah, right. Okay, Mike. Any last thoughts? Good to see. Good to hear about that. All right, guys. We're gonna wrap it up. So I'm gonna go for Saul. We'll be back next week, same time, same station, and hopefully, the camera will be working properly. On that note, have a good week. This is our network. That's, Kevin took care of that.
Oh, you have to ask Kevin if